When Dangote wanted to start, you know how many months he should have started that he did not. These people are the same people that have not made or did not allow refineries to work for the past 30 years. They are the same people that are trying to hold Dangote down. Hello everyone. I hope this video meets you well. I can understand your frustration if you're a Nigerian from all over the world, particularly in Nigeria. There's a lot of frustration going on as I speak. Is it the inflation that is going on in the country? Is it the continuous increment in petrol, which in turn leads to the increase in almost everything? It is quite frustrating. And the worst thing of it all is that you then have leaders. I mean, in the midst of confusion, you need leaders that are going to give people peace of mind, give people assurance that we are dealing with this situation. But unfortunately, we have leaders who, as I speak, don't seem to know what to do about what is happening in Nigeria. And it's not like they don't know what to do. If I have to be honest with you, most of these people are actually the ones complicating the issues we have in Nigeria. Why all of a sudden do we have fuel queues all over in petrol?
Earlier this week, the federal government, through the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, issued a warning to oil marketers, insisting that stations holding petrol to sell to black marketers in jerry cans will have their licenses withdrawn.
Dangote refinery is coming on stream or has already started. Now, before the starting of Dangote refinery or before Dangote can start producing PMS, we all know and we all saw what went round everywhere. There was a lot of back and forth and a lot of issues between Dangote and the Nigerian government. And why is all that? It's very, very simple. Nigeria is producing so much oil that we refine in Nigeria. And as a result, we have enough oil to play with. We, in fact, export oil to other parts of the world. And then as time goes on, all these things change because we have people that have seen that the loopholes and ways that they can start embezzling and stealing this money. And when we have all these corrupt leaders start coming in, what do? They start giving each other, distributing oil well to each other. And then you end up having individuals exporting our crude oil and bringing back petrol. All the other components of that oil is left behind, which are supposed to be part of things that the Nigerian people are going to benefit. That is not just the problem. And once this started, these individuals that are exporting our oil and bringing in petrol, they are those that decided and made sure over their dead body will those refineries work. So if you are wondering that for the past 25, 30 years that over 30 years that our refineries have not worked, this is the simple reason. The moment our government give other people the license to start importing things, definitely they will make sure that the ones you have, the indigenous one, will be killed. And that is what is happening to refineries. Remember, Buhari was a PTF chairman at one time. And that was why when he was campaigning, all his campaign, Buhari keeps saying that there's nothing like subsidy. That who is subsidizing who? And all these things are fraud.
Is Nigerian capital? Is Nigerian oil? What I understand Nigeria should charge Nigerians is the cost of one barrel at the wellhead, and then the cost of transportation to the refinery, the cost of refining it, and its cost at the pump. If anybody said he is subsidizing anything, he is a fraud. So all these people talking about subsidy, who is subsidizing who? But there is so much fraud, as I said, and indiscipline and corruption that I don't talk about it. But the day I have to talk about it, I will ask the petroleum economists to come and tell me who is subsidizing Nigerians, Nigerian oil. Whose oil is it? Who are they subsidizing? I don't understand it, and I need the petroleum economists who will explain to me this question of subsidy. It's sheer fraud and corruption.
But yet he came into government, and for 8 years, he also joined the cabal in extorting Nigerians, saying that there's subsidy when there's actually no subsidy. And then Tinubu came in and said subsidy is gone, knowing that there's no subsidy. And for Tinubu to make more money, or this government to make more money, is to tax Nigerians, starting with increasing petrol from about 200 naira to over 600 naira. And today, what are you seeing? We have a bold person in Dangote. Think of him, however you think of him, it doesn't matter. That put out courage in order to build a brand new refinery. We don't need Dangote's refinery in the first place if we have had thinking and visionary leaders who their main reason for being there are the Nigerian people. When Dangote wanted to start, you know how many months he should have started that he did not. These people are the same people that have not made or did not allow refineries to work for the past 30 years. They are the same people that are trying to hold Dangote down to make sure that his refinery does not come on board. Because if that happens, what happens to the hundreds of them that are exporters of our oil and importers of this petrol? All that business is going to go down the drain. And this is why these guys are fighting tooth and nail to make sure that Dangote refinery does not happen. Pretend as if there's issues with fuel, and at the end of the day, increase the price, which they are trying to do to about 800 to 900 naira per liter. And then when Dangote's petrol come on board, he cannot sell less than whatever NNPC puts in the market. So Dangote will now be shouldering the heavy weights of producing petrol for the Nigerian people, but at a cost put down by the Nigerian government through their own incompetence, that they've not been able to fix those 4 refineries for the past 30 years. It's like you having 4 cars, and because of your lack of vision and incompetence, one after the other, you allow these cars to die. And you have to end up taking an Okada to a mechanic to then ask the mechanic to come home and fix those cars. How stupid can you be? And this is what is happening with the Nigerian government. They know what they are doing. All this scarcity is just to increase the price. It's unfortunate the current government that we have is thinking about nothing but enriching themselves. And it seems that the president, rather than thinking he's getting old, for some reason he thinks his own age is reversing. So he's getting younger every day. Or why at that age, 70 or 80, be needing a private jet, be needing some expensive bulletproof cars at that age? If you are doing the right thing in the first place, why do all our House of Reps, senators, and president, and all these people, why must they have bulletproof cars? If you are for the people, you don't need bulletproof cars. There are so many problems going on in Nigeria. People cannot feed. Inflation is up there. And yet, our leaders are spending money on daily basis as if they are not part of the problem. And that is why we, the Nigerian people, need to make this happen. Because these people, they don't care about you. If they do, you would have seen it. If you buy petrol at 1,000 naira per liter, go to the market, everything will go up by 50 to 80%. And who are those people buying things in the market? The masses, the poor Nigerian people. If a bag of rice turns to 500,000 naira, none of these leaders will even blink. So it is all coming back down to the people. And that is why I'm saying these people will not stop until we, the Nigerian people, decide to stop it. There's so many shenanigans going on, and it has to stop. So we have a big issue in Nigeria. I know that. But all I'm still telling you and telling everyone and myself is that no one is going to take us out of this issue. We have to work together. We have to take ourselves out of this problem. And like I always said, there's no point we continue talking about the problems and the issue. How do we get out of it? And like I always said, mine is simple. Protest, yes. Revolution, yes. But the kind of protest and revolution we do in Nigeria can never get us out of where we are. Because millions, rather than being on the streets, will be there with a cup of coffee in their hand watching a program on the telly. Until the day we decide to come out as one, how many are the Nigerian security forces? How many? This is not about fighting them, but the more numbers, if you come out in your 4 millions, the Nigerian security architecture cannot cope with that. They will have no choice but to listen to what the protesters are saying. That will force the hand of the president to listen to what the protesters are saying. But when you come out in your 30s and 20s, it's not going to work. And that is why I have always advocated for us to come together, wait for that one time that they give us every 4 years. Anything you do now, they will say you want to remove a democratically elected government. But let us use that time to remove that democratically elected government by doing what? By coming together and making sure on that one day we all have our PVCs and we go out there and exercise our franchise. And if they still do this same thing that they are doing, that is the opportunity we need to come out and make sure that whatever is going to happens. Because Nigeria will not change if we, the people, did not change in order to make Nigeria change. Thank you very much, and I'll see you on my next video.